Hello students, this is K.M. Varaprasad, guest faculty in Computer Science Department, Vikram Simpur University, Nellore. Here we are in the software testing subject and we are in the chapter software testing process. In that chapter, now we are in the topic testing approaches. Here different types of testing approaches we are using. By using different types of approaches, we are minimizing and we are finding different types of errors by using the testing. Now here comes the first one is top down versus bottom up testing. Next one structure testing and functional testing, and then mutation testing, and finally regression testing. Now coming to the top down and the bottom up testing. In the top down testing, we are testing from the main program first and then different types of functions. In that top down testing, we are using some set of things are there. Those are some set of print statements we are using, and then those print statements will give the details about this one. And comes to the bottom up testing. For example, if you are using stack, in the bottom up testing, from the bottom, that means before we are going to test the whole program, we are testing the push operation first and then pop operation and finally the main program. Now this is about the top down versus bottom up type of testing. And then coming to the functional testing and the structural testing. Here the functional testing is also called as black box testing. In the functional testing, we are testing only the function. Just we are giving inputs and we are finding the outputs. Those are the as it is or correct. It is giving the correct outputs. It does not consider any structure. Now coming to the structural testing. In the structural testing, we are testing the code. In that code, now we are taking different types of coverages. That is, statement coverage is there, branch coverage is there, and path coverage is there. In the statement coverage, every individual statement is tested. And then coming to the branch coverage, here every condition is tested by using the different types of inputs. And coming to the path coverage, here we are using some set of looping statements like for, while, do while, etc. Now for example, the looping statement for I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 100 and I plus plus. In this one, the loop is executed 101 times. The user or the customer is required 100 times or 101 times. Based on that one, we are modifying the path testing. Now coming to the third approach is mutation testing. Here, what is actually the mutation testing means? Here we give some set of inputs, some wrong outputs are coming. At that time, we are going to modify some set of logic, and then we have to prepare some set of mutants. What are actually the mutants here is constant replacement is one mutant, and then relational operator replacement, and then arithmetic operator replacement, go to replacement. These are the different types of mutants. For example, input y and then x is equal to sign of y and then print the x value. In this one, the sign of y is giving the wrong inputs, means some drawback is there in the sign function. Some set of inputs we are giving in the radians, etc. Now if you correct this one, the modified statements like input y, x is equal to y, and then print the x value. If you give the correct means the problem is there in the sine function. Now we have to modify the sine function and then perform the testing and perform the debugging process. And comes to the finally the regression testing. What is actually the regression testing here is, if you modify or if you correct the error in one place, now it affects different types of ill effects in the remaining places. Here you have to test. If you are modifying some logic in one place, you have to test the complete program or the complete software. Now this type of testing is called as a regression type of testing. Okay, up to this one we discussed about the levels of testing and then testing approaches. Now finally comes to the different types of testing. Here in this one, black box testing is there, white box testing is there, and then gorilla testing is there, some stress testing is there, performance testing is there, and then acceptance testing is there. These are all the different types of testing methods we are using or testings we are using. Here comes to the first type of testing is black box testing. What is actually the black box testing means? It is also called as a functional testing. In this one, the end user is not a software expert. Now we are using this type of testing method. In this type of testing, we are giving some valid inputs and then the valid outputs are coming or not. This type of, here in this one, the structure, internal structure of the code or software is not tested or is not considered. Now this is about the black box testing. And coming to the white box testing, in the white box testing, we are going to test the conditions or structure of the code. Here in this one, if you are using a simple condition like if condition, in that one, we are going to test the positive case or true case, and then finally test the false case also. Everything is perfectly alright only, we are coming out. Now this is about the white box testing. And then comes to the gorilla testing. Now what is actually the gorilla testing means? It is especially used in the game playing. Some gorilla is allotted to enter some inputs. Now that gorilla can enter different, can press different types of keys. Now at that time, if the problem occurs in the software means the software is failed. If doesn't occur in anything, it is passed. Here, that is gorilla testing means gorilla is not appointed for that one. Some software engineer acted as a gorilla and enter different types of keys. This type of testing is also very, very important to develop the very good code.
Now here comes the next type of testing is beta testing. This is performed at the user's site or client site. In this one, we have to test the real capacity, real time of this one, time of the software. In this one, these are all considered in the beta testing. Here, before this one, alpha testing is performed. That is at the developer's site. Now coming to this one, here we have to consider these are things. The number of beta test sites are there. What are the different types of test sites are available for the beta testing, and then the environment required for beta testing. What is the environment we are using? It is a real time or not we are using. Coming to the support services to be provided. What are the support services to be provided for the beta testing? And then whether the beta test software is priced or free. Some set of free softwares are available for beta testing. Whether we are using the free software or some priced software. Now coming to the defect report mechanism. We are using the defect report mechanism properly or not. And finally, beta testing period. What time period we are using? It is a 1 day or 2 days or something, 1 week it is taking. Now this is about the beta testing. Okay, next type of testing is the field trial. Now this is also similar to the beta testing, but here actual environments are used for the testing. What is actually the field trial means? The real environment. In the alpha testing, we are testing the software in the lab and it is taking to the real environment also. Coming to the next one is performance testing. Here the performance testing is completely based on the some set of parameters. If we are using a database type of projects, we are using the parameter like a transaction response time. What response time it is giving, the software is giving. And coming to the some CPU execution type of projects, what is the throughput we are using to test the software or to test the computer. This is about the performance testing. Here we are using some set of performance. Now coming to the next one is stress testing. What is actually the stress testing means? If you are developing the projects or software like database management system, it is used by the some set of people, like 16 people are using the database. Now you have to test the same thing by using the 16 people, not with the 2 people or 3 people like that. Now this is about the stress testing based on the database management systems. Likewise, we are going to test the RAM size for the project, as well as it is a 64 or 128 or something. You have to test minimum requirements. Now coming to the some set of communication mechanism projects, you have to test the what type of media, what type of communication media we are using to test this one. Now coming to the final type of testing, that is acceptance testing. It is also performed at the customer site. Here before performing the testing at the customer site, here it is developed some set of proposals or some set of design is developed before starting the project. Based on that report, based on that design or analysis report, the acceptance testing is performed at the users or client side. Now if the customer is okay with all the goings, it is a very good project delivery.
Okay, coming to the lockdown, stay home and stay safe. See the videos which we are uploading and enjoy the videos by learning. Thank you.